Hi, I'm Dave DeWitt, and today I'd like to talk about the difference between the wisdom of the world and the wisdom of God. What I'm going to do is list without comment 30 differences between the wisdom of the world and the wisdom of God. Then for the wisdom of God, I'll list a couple of Bible references. All right, here we go. Number one, worldly wisdom says everything evolved naturally. Godly wisdom says everything was created supernaturally. Genesis 1:1, Psalm 104, 5-9, Matthew 19:4. Number two, worldly wisdom says there's no such thing as sin, only malevolence, and people are basically good. The problem is just ignorance, and the solution is education. Godly wisdom says the heart is more deceitful than all else and desperately sick, and all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Jeremiah 17:9 and Romans 3:23. Number three, worldly wisdom says there can be value in religious forms themselves, like icons and liturgies. Godly wisdom says there's no value in religious forms themselves. Isaiah 1:11-15, Jeremiah 10:2-8, and John 4, the woman at the well. Number four, worldly wisdom says pride is a virtue. Godly wisdom says pride is a sin. Isaiah 66:1-2, 1 John 2:16. Number five, worldly wisdom says we don't need to be perfect. Godly wisdom says we do need to be perfect. Matthew 5:48, Ephesians 5:27. Number six, worldly wisdom says love your friends such as those in your own group. Godly wisdom says love your enemies. Matthew 5:43-47. Number seven, worldly wisdom says your efforts, or the government, will supply your needs. Godly wisdom says God supplies your needs. Matthew 6:25-26. Number eight, worldly wisdom says I should change others to my way of thinking. Godly wisdom says I should change myself to God's way of thinking. Hosea 6:6, 2 Corinthians 10:5. Number nine, worldly wisdom says truth is relative. What's true for one is not necessarily true for others. Godly wisdom says truth is absolute. What's true for one is true for everybody. Romans 1:18 and 9 and 25. Number 10, worldly wisdom says fear lots of things, but don't fear God. Godly wisdom says fear God. Ecclesiastes 3:13, Matthew 10:28. Number 11, worldly wisdom says good religious leaders bring peace. Godly wisdom says good religious leaders cause conflict. Matthew 10:34-37, 2 Corinthians 7:8 and 10. Number 12, worldly wisdom says to save yourself. Godly wisdom says to lose yourself. Matthew 16:25. Number 13, worldly wisdom changes continually. Godly wisdom never changes. Malachi 3:6, Hebrews 13:8, James 1:17. Number 14, worldly wisdom says it's good to be wealthy. Godly wisdom says it's good to be poor. Luke 6:20, 9:58, Philippians 3:8. Number 15, worldly wisdom says I give to someone because it's good for them. Godly wisdom says I give to someone because it's good for me. Matthew 12:42-43, Luke 6:38. Number 16, worldly wisdom says you can keep some things a secret. Godly wisdom says every secret will be revealed. Luke 12:2-3, Romans 2:16. Number 17, worldly wisdom says there are many ways to God. Godly wisdom says There's only one way to God. John 14:6, Acts 4:12. Worldly wisdom says unity is when we tolerate each other's viewpoint. Godly wisdom says unity is when we agree with God. 1 Corinthians 1:10, 1 Timothy 6:3-5. 19. Worldly wisdom concerning sex says if it feels good, do it. Godly wisdom says sex is only for heterosexual marriage. Acts 15:29, 1 Corinthians 7:1-5. Number 20. Worldly wisdom says we should not let people take advantage of us. Godly wisdom says we should let people take advantage of us. Luke 6:29, 1 Corinthians 13:7. Number 21. Worldly wisdom says people come and go, institutions live on. Godly wisdom says institutions come and go, but people live on. Matthew 25:46, 1 Corinthians 15. Number 22. Worldly wisdom says love's a two-way street. Godly wisdom says love's a one-way street. Matthew 5:46, 1 Corinthians 13. Number 23. Worldly wisdom says the Bible's a 2,000-year-old book not relevant for our progressive society. Godly wisdom says the Bible is relevant, living, active Word of God. 2 Timothy 3:16, Romans 15:4, Hebrews 4:12. Number 24. Worldly wisdom says to take care of yourself first. Look out for number one. Godly wisdom says regard one another more important than yourselves. Philippians 2:3-4. Number 25. Worldly wisdom encourages revenge. Godly wisdom says to leave revenge up to God. Romans 12:19. Number 26. Worldly wisdom says a leader is someone who is followed. Godly wisdom says a leader is one doing the most giving. Mark 9:35, 1 Peter 5:1-3. 27. Worldly wisdom says you should fix your mistakes. Godly wisdom says you should confess your sin. Psalm 38:18, Proverbs 28:13, 1 John 1:8-10. Number 28, godly wisdom says moral tolerance is a virtue. Godly wisdom says moral tolerance leads to sin. Romans 3:10-18, Revelation 2:20. Number 29, worldly wisdom says the world is progressively getting better. Godly wisdom says the world is progressively getting worse. 2 Timothy 4:3-4. Number 30, worldly wisdom says this earth is our home, our mother. We should take care of it, make it a better place. Godly wisdom says believers are aliens on earth with citizenship in heaven. Philippians 3:20. Well, thanks for listening. If you would like my paper on the subject, it's available on our website, relationalconcepts.org.